Hey everyone. Janelle and Sarah here from Simple Grace Co. We get together every Tuesday at 10, and you can to just talk about lots of things young living, lots of things centered around get oiling. Um, and today is just a Q&A. We're going to Q&A. So anything you want to ask, if you have any questions and you're on the replay, go ahead and ask them, and we'll see if we can't get them answered. I am Sarah Hagenfeld. I'm a Young Living brand partner from Central Nebraska. Janelle and I both met through basically, we met through Young Living, but we have a ton of things in common. We both farm and ranch, both have 4 kids. And that's kind of how this all got started. Janelle?
It is. So my name is Janelle Anderson. I live in Western North Dakota with my 4 kids, my husband. We ranch. We do many, many different things. We are brand partners with Young Living. He's a brand partner too. It makes sense. Let's talk about that sometime. But we also, I just want to point out, Sarah and I are cross team. Like, we are not on the same team. And so I love that. And we just want to encourage all of those cross team friendships and relationships because they are super, super helpful. And I have loved getting to know Sarah. She is one of my best friends for sure. And I'm so thankful for that. So today, usually we do a topic where we go into get oiling, we share our screens, we walk you through something, we teach something, all that kind of stuff. But this week we are going to just do Q&As. So every week when we train on something, we stop the recording when we're done, and then we go into a Q&A. Sometimes people ask questions about what we just talked about. Sometimes it's just other questions about get oiling or whatever it may be. So this week we're just doing the Q&A first, and that's it. So we're really, really excited. So we do have a question right away, and I'm going to switch the view. So just a warning, all of you in this Zoom, your beautiful faces are going to be on YouTube if you come on camera. Just want to point that out. Terry, she's beautiful. She's smiling, so you get to see her face. And the first question, we had a question in our Facebook group, which is Simple Grace Collective on Facebook. It is, how do we create a link for custom bundles? So if we, and I'm just gonna, she's on here who asked the question. Debbie is the one who asked the question. And we just want to make sure that we get this right. So if you want to share a resource code, is that what you're talking about? Is that what it makes you think, Sarah, with that question?
I wonder if it's the new bundles.
Oh, go ahead, Debbie. Let us know what you're talking for sure.
So another, I don't think it's a diamond yet, but another person is creating custom bundles through the MyL website.
Thank you.
Okay, and so the appeal of that is tremendous because I'm a chiropractor and not all of my patients need the same things, but I generally give the same recommendations, like you guys are rock stars with the Super Bees because that's what everybody needs. 3 is better than 2. Anyway, but that's what I'm looking for. And I don't want to get the MyL website to duplicate some of what I'm doing on Get Oiling. I really want to take everything to one platform. And so I'm just really hoping it's possible.
Yeah, and so I did see that Greg had answered that. And I am going to first say, this is something that all of us in Young Living need to email Young Living and say, we want this possible outside of the outside of the MyYL website. Not that that's not going to be a great resource tool to have, but we want this to be possible for even those people that are not going to invest that $10 a month even on it. I want that available for my brand partners that are not going to grab a MyYL website. I want that for myself because I want to see how that works with Get Oiling. What I do know is that, like Greg said, he's working, he's trying to figure this all out. And so down the line, I am 100% positive that he is going to figure something out. He is one smart, amazing feller. But then on the flip side of it, once everything is released, Sarah and I'm sure are going to be working our best, because even for us, for our teams in our prospect vault, that's kind of what we had. So if we are able to create something for those bundles to actually, for them to click on a link and go there and just check out, we want that too.
Yeah.
So if we're smart enough and it's possible, we are going to make that happen on our end. And of course, we will pass that on to you guys. But how exciting is that? We have talked, I have thought for my whole thing, you know, when I first started, I started with a starter bundle, and I thought it was the greatest thing, and I still do it. It gives so many different options. But if we are really truly into serving people well, it is going to come from being so specific to their needs. And that's why this whole thing, all of these changes that Young Living is doing, is absolutely amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I'm jacked for it. Like jacked. And maybe it's the nitro talking right now. Maybe that's kicking in. That I just dapped them when I came in here, but I'm excited. The changes are going to be fantastic. And at this point, I think we just have to kind of wait and see when they come out. But I have immense faith in Greg. Sarah, did you want to add anything?
No, I do too. I mean, I think right now so much of it is up in the air about how it's going to work. And I think we just need to kind of let it kind of, you know, work itself through. I know for myself, I've worked really hard to set myself apart and have my, you know, my community who, you know, they're going to need custom bundles from, you know, how they are connecting with me. And so I am, you know, I'm still, you know, I'm not ready to just go generic for the while, you know, for that website. I think that what we've built to really market ourselves, to have, you know, to be our own brand. I think that, you know, even if we do have to, even in the beginning, if we're having to use that a little bit to coincide to get it to work, like Janelle said, I think that Greg is a genius and will do everything in his power to make it work seamlessly. If not, I mean, if it comes down to us, you know, kind of building our own custom bundles, we're kind of in a way already doing that in the Prospect Vault. And I just think logistically, we're just going to have to wait to see how it works out. And I'm, you know, I'm excited for that too, but, you know, fingers crossed that it'll be seamless once we kind of get into it.
Mm-hmm. And I have experience with one of my friends. I had purchased something from her, and she was able to go in and set up this bundle. And that was amazing for me to just click on that link and go in there. She actually was able to put it on a subscription for me. So like she had that set, and I think all I had to do was accept that. So, you know, like there's different things that I'm seeing that I'm really hoping that we get to do for sure. Bertha suggested Clarity, because she's doing that right now, and Nitro, and I'm like, I was gonna grab Clarity. I promised you this morning. I actually had thought about it, so don't mind me over here. Okay.
It's just reading. 2 more days, my Nitro will arrive. Yeah, nice.
So show hands, maybe a comment, who is excited for the changes that are coming down? Yeah. Has anybody gotten updates? I know some dates were kind of out there, like not really knowing what stuff was coming down. Did everybody catch some dates in the past day or so? Because if not, I got some for you if you want them. I just gotta find them somewhere. Okay, so are you ready for this? April 21st, all current members will be moving to the new shopping platform. April 21st, excuse me, not May 21st, April 21st. And then May 1st, the new website opens to the public. And then on May 11th, members will be reclassified as customers and brand partners. So those are just some dates that I just got from my diamond. And so that's pretty exciting. I've been waiting to hear some of these dates.
Yeah, that's exciting. Anybody have any comments about spring launch? I feel it seems like it's going to run a little bit differently this year. But that's on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super pumped. I cannot wait to see happens. I'm like, I'm not a person who's like, oh, but I kind of am for a couple products that I hope are coming to the US market.
Yep.
Is there a way to download a list of our brand partners now so we can reach out to them? Did you ask this question somewhere? Because I feel like I saw someone else ask this question. It popped up in my news feed. Did you ask it, Terry, somewhere? You can come off of mute if you want to.
I asked it in the gold group, but didn't get any clarity. They kind of went around the bush.
They weren't quite sure how to direct.
Right.
That's what I was thinking if there's a report that would work
Yeah. I'm gonna go look real quick. See
in
what's
the VO.
It would be awesome if there's a way that we could download and then use our Get Oiling to reach out to them.
Yeah.
Download the list of everyone.
Yeah. And unfortunately, if we can't figure out like a solid way to really like separate them, and I say unfortunately because we're still a little bit off, but when they reclassify, then it should be, I would assume that it will be easier to make sure that there's that distinction between them, which for me, I love that because I'll be able to tag them, but I'm looking right now and we'll see what I can find.
Yeah, because I'm not sure either.
So what is your plan going forward then, Terry? If we're gonna, while I look for that, what is your thing for contacting your brand partners now? What is your game plan going forward?
Well, my situation is I went gold without any leaders, which is very rare. So I don't have anyone underneath that's solid business builders. I have 99% of my people are order. I mean, that's just where I'm sitting. And so I created a Google Doc yesterday to reach out to all my brand partners to basically say, what are you going to do? Here's the opportunity for you. And so that I can get some open communication with them at this point to encourage the opportunity to lead.
Mm-hmm. That's really good.
So I need to know how to get that to everyone that's in that status, I guess, in the holding spot.
Well, I keep looking for this. Yesterday on Mondays, we have a call, a team call with our diamonds in different things. We were all talking about, what constitutes as a brand partner, how they get that label and all that kind of stuff. And has anybody seen the list of things going around that, how they say any kind of marketing materials or business stuff? Have you seen that list? So basically, if we have someone who has talked about sharing or maybe has never pulled a paycheck, and we want that to save them the $30 in the future once that switch happens, there is a list, and they could order a 10-pack of the chiropractor pamphlets and be considered a brand partner because they purchased materials. I think that even those little sample packs of, I have one right here, of lavender, that might be considered one. I can't remember what's all on the list, but I should find that and we should post that in Simple Grace Collective for all of you to look through, because that would be a great list to send to them. Say, hey, if you've ever thought about sharing, this is a way to guarantee that you have that option without kind of going through the steps. And we can make sure that, you don't have to in the future pay that $30. Though I will say, I'm sure that whatever Young Living is putting together for the new brand partners is going to be an amazing little kit for them. I have complete faith in them in that. But we can also, these people who are on the cusp, we could probably save them that money.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen that at all. I haven't seen anything about that.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to have to think about this one personally to see if we can maybe come with some different options to filter it down to run that report with them. And maybe, yes, that's a really good question. So for those of you who we're just jumping on. So Terry asked if there was a way to download a list of our brand partners that we have right now. So I don't know, maybe if we reach out to Young Living, maybe we could reach out to them and see if they could send us a list. I don't know. But we'll figure that out. That is a great question. Okay, we have an awesome amount of, okay. I'm just going to read this because people, I guess, watching the replay will not even see the whole thing. So, what would be awesome? This is from Vivian. If you guys both go through what your weekly IPAs or your to-dos look like, meaning what do you do every day for your business? What do you do for your downline public classes, and how do you reach to new people, etc. Martha has a timeline of things to do every day, but her direction does not resonate with my personality, contacting 5 to 10 people a day, etc., blogging once a week, etc. Where I'm stuck is that I don't know what to do every day. I have no clear direction, so I waste a lot of time planning stuff to do and never get around to doing anything. I also feel like I'm spending a lot of time with my downline and then getting absolutely no feedback, communication from them. I hope this makes sense what I am asking. Sarah, I'm looking at you.
I'm writing.
So great question. Oh, what is that?
This is the 7 Oily Days Planner, and it comes from Growing Healthy Homes. It has prompts for things to do, just like Jill On-Call's Unstoppable Academy. It's broken down into hourly segments. But it's been really helpful just for me to like throw things on about what I need to do and when I'm having calls. I keep track of my OGV and all that stuff down here. But the important part is it's organized. It looks the same every week, but up in the corner, it gives me things like, these are things I should be checking that week. I will tell you that the Unstoppable Academy is incredible. Even if you just went in and got the 90-day IPA, if you did one thing every single day, you've already done more for your business than you ever thought possible. And it helps you like, I had no idea I could do that. And then you take that one thing and it goes a million different directions. It is beautiful. And it's something that's manageable. She's got people on there speaking, but like I said, even if you got the 90-day IPA calendar like that, it just gives you so many ideas. And my thing is, yeah.
I was going to say, Debbie, tell them the best thing about the Unstoppable Academy.
That it's free. It's free. And it's beautiful and wonderful. And there's also this other thing I got to tell you, put a plug in for Pile of Rocks, which is part of the On-Call community. That was the most powerful personal development I've ever done. And it's free. So wow. If you aren't plugged into Grow, you're missing out, and it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, she's talking about Grow Dot on Facebook.
Yes.
It's an amazing group. Jill On-Call has the biggest heart for teen young living.
Yes.
And so she's the one who created all of those things that Debbie was talking about.
Yeah, but it's just amazing. And so, like I said, it's just like, if you don't know where to start somewhere. We did go away I have 2 Crossline friends, and we went away in January and planned out our entire year. And so we have an oil focus, we have a supplement, we have classes, we have 4 different things that we cover every month. It's systematic, but we laid it all out from what we're doing. We know what we're doing in December. It was the best thing we had ever done. And now it's like, we're kind of almost like, what do we do now? Because we have all this extra time, because we're not freaking out every day. So even if you just set out the next 2 weeks and said, this is what I want to focus on, I want to make sure people understand about this brand partner thing, that's communicating. It's not necessarily per se an IPA, but the fact that you communicate with your people, maybe get some new people on board. Pow, it's awesome, just awesome. But this is, Molly Moses made this. It's undated, and it even has a place you can color if that's your thing. It's got pages in the front to keep track of stuff, but it's just been a really good help. I tried the game planner. It was overwhelming. I've seen some others, but this one was just super simple, not dated. And it was only $40. So, and it's from Growing Healthy Homes.
Can I interject 1 second? I'm sorry, because Debbie, thank you so much for that. But I'm in Grow and I'm in Unstoppable and in all the things. But let me ask Janelle, Sarah, and everybody here a question, because one of the things that I'm noticing, and I think that has become a very big time waster for me and why I feel so overwhelmed, is that I'm in so many groups. Like I have my upline and I have Grow and I have all the things, and then there's Martha, and it seems like everybody is telling you or suggesting or advising on the best way to do things, and then you have this overwhelm of messages telling you to do all the things, so all the time that is being spent, so how do you narrow, and this is something I've been thinking for a while, how do you narrow one or two or three groups that you focus on and put everything aside for a while? I love Jill. I will tell you this. I do not have support from my upline whatsoever. I've been by myself for a while, and Jill has always been so helpful for me. But I agree, to me, Grow is almost overwhelming, but I wonder if it's because I have all the other 10 groups happening at the same time. So how do you narrow it down? How do you pick and choose the best resources for you?
So what I'm going to say is that you need to take, for sure, you need to take one of your days this week, and you need to write your goals down of what you are actually wanting to achieve. Is it that you want to figure out a system so that you know what you're going to do every day? Then from there, then you're going to find probably the one place that you can find that information and focus your attention on it, because I totally get it. You can be in this group, you can be in this group, you can do this course, you can do this course. We see something shiny. I'm talking personally to myself. I need that. I want that. All that kind of stuff. And when it gets to the point of where you are just grabbing this stuff, but you are absolutely not doing anything with it, then we have to recognize that, and we need to change our habits. And so what I'm going to recommend to you, again, take a day and figure out your focus. Even for the next month, say this next month, I really want to focus on trying to, whatever, if it is the IPAs, which I think actually is important to you, I think you want to have some sort of schedule and a plan of attack. Just like Debbie said, find that 90 days of IPAs in Unstoppable, download that, turn off your notifications for Grow, because you can always go in there if you're searching for something. Because the problem with Grow, as amazing as it is, you have people who are constantly saying what they're doing, what's working, these amazing things. And then you're like, okay, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. And in the end, I'm going to guess, if you're anything like me, you don't do anything. Is that
It's
right?
Yeah, I would totally agree. And I would say, Vivian, pour into your team and figure out how you can grow. Personally, I would say stop everything except the 90-day hustle with Jill, because that's your goal, is IPAs. And because she's so well organized and she already resonates with you, I would say just stop everything else, because like Janelle said, you can totally go in and look when you're ready. You need a fresh idea, but planning out your next 90 days, that's where the money's made. And if that's what you're here for, focus on that. Everything else is noise. Now, it doesn't mean that in a few more months that something else might just be perfect, but you will not go wrong with a 90-day IPA list and putting it into action.
And if it feels right to you. I mean, I think, like Janelle said, with the shiny things, there's lots of things that I've gone for and tried, and if it feels right for you. But I mean, you have that feeling, you have that, man, I just don't know, but it worked for them. It should work for me. That's, that really isn't how it always works. I mean, it has to. So if you feel like you have that connection with Jill and you feel like she's, steered you in the direction that you're wanting to go, then focus in on that and do one, plan it out. If you're having problems with actually doing the things, make yourself every single day do one thing. Mm-hmm. Just make it happen. That's your goal. That's a really great goal to just say. And like Debbie said, 90 days. That's when you finish that 90 days, your business will be completely different. It really will be if you really sit down and, head down.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. And I think we all have probably been there where we've all feel that several times. I mean, and you go back to it and then you get in a really great groove, and then, maybe you fall back and feel like you're not doing the things that need to be done. I mean, I honestly feel that way right now too. And am refocusing and trying to reorganize and not just kind of a random show up,
So I was on a call yesterday, and one of the things that they said is if you are trying to incorporate something new, you're trying to change your habits, that you really need to change your surroundings. You need to get out of your routine. And so just like Debbie said, and Sarah said, and I said, is really narrowing down what you want to do, and then stopping all the noise around that is going to stop you from achieving that. And I think one thing that we tend to do is we focus so hard though on, I'm going to grow, I want to grow, I'm going to do the work. Okay, this works, this works, this works, this works. And instead, all we're doing is working, but then we forget to go back to, why are we doing this? We are doing this because we want to serve others. It's a great business opportunity and it makes sense, but let's not overcomplicate it. And let's go back to get oiling. Get oiling can be overwhelming. That's where this whole thing started. But if you focus on chipping away and getting these things in place that you want to use, this is a system. Once the system is in place, it is going to serve you so well for your business, and it will be something that you won't have to be focused on fixing and doing and all this kind of stuff. And so uncomplicate things by literally throwing stuff out. The noise. And I'm preaching to myself here. 100%.
And I got totally overwhelmed and was so thankful that you guys stepped in and said, hey, we get it. Let me show you a few things. But I have not even gotten into the Get Willing vaults that much because I felt like I needed to do something well. And so I just focused on getting a newsletter out every single month. So an email once a month with just lots of really great information, and that I could do, and it's gotten better every single time. And then when I felt like I had a good handle on things, like after a Zoom call like this, I was able to go in and like, ooh, let me put a little page in the vault. And so now I have 3 pages in my vault, which is way more than I had before. But I really wanted to focus in on mastering one skill, because otherwise I'm going to drown. And so I really appreciate you guys putting all this stuff in Simple Grace Collective, because I can go back when I'm ready, or I have assistant sitting next to me that's brand new. Yay, delegating. But yeah, anyway, so she's
my favorite word.
Yes. And so her being able to understand about the business and things like that helped, but not everybody can do this. So just understand there's a million options. It doesn't mean that you have to do them all. Do one thing and do it to a level of excellence, and then move on to the next.
So I'm going to bring a concept that falls into that, but you're going to be like, she's not talking what I am though. So here we go. When you first started with your newsletter and your email that went out once a month, was that an A+ newsletter, or was it B+? Like you just knew that you needed to do it and you knew that you would grow on that. Right? Sometimes we have to be okay with that B+ when we start something, and know, like you said, eventually we can get to that expertise level that I want to be at, but I have to be okay with this B+, because part of that, the B is all of my effort I'm putting into it. And then the plus is it got done.
Or fall on your face, but do it anyway.
Yep, maybe it's a C+ effort, but you know that you can make that an A+, but it's going to take the time to get there. And so that is such a great point. Focus on the one thing. We did that in a Zoom a couple weeks ago. Focus on the one thing. What is your one goal that you want to achieve? So if we're talking about this brand partner switch, the amazing changes that are coming, what is your goal with that? What is your goal with your brand partners? Use these 3 weeks that we have, the 4 weeks, to get an understanding for those people, whether they're just your customers or brand partners, so they understand the possibilities. I hope that we all can realize that the possibilities that Young Living has opened up to us with these changes should be mind-blowing. Sorry. You guys are pumping me up.
I'm ready for just
go to work when I'm done. I say that, but the baby will be awake, then I won't. So. Okay. So Mary, I'm gonna say we did talk about my YL right in the beginning. That was one of the first. That was the first question. So we can just chat really quickly again about it. Sarah, do you want to just kind of go over what?
Yeah, I mean, we were just saying right now it is very much in the air about what, what Get Oiling will be able to do, with the bundles and all of that. We just really don't know right now how it's going to work. I'm excited because, we were mentioning before, Greg, he is a genius when it comes to this stuff. So if Young Living does that all make it possible, it's going to, it's going to happen. So I think right now we're just kind of in that waiting, kind of that holding period, and waiting to see what's going to come around to see, how we're going to make it work. We just really don't know.
Yeah, and our call to action on that is definitely email Young Living and say that we want this to be something that is available outside of the MyYL website as brand partners. So
who should we email?
That's a great question. I was trying to think of that. Maybe.
You can come back with the answer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think too who it would be.
Whoops. Oh, let's see. I have a list of emails. Where do I have that?
That's what I was just looking for.
I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper. I don't know if I can come off the top of my head. All cylinders aren't clicking this morning. I wonder if it would be leadership. I mean, they at least would pass it on, right? Young Living leadership, maybe. Support. Oh, they do have a suggestions email where you can send in suggestions. I can't think of what it is. Sarah's looking. So we'll let Sarah look. Does anybody have any other questions or something they want to chat about? Will we find that? We'll try to find it. So I know that I asked this of Terry, but I would love to hear kind of what your plans are going forward in the next 3 weeks before this change really happens. Does anybody want to volunteer kind of what they're doing, what their plan is? Everybody's like, nope, don't want to talk about it. Myself personally, I created a survey. I want to, if I'm talking specifically about just my team as overall, so customers, I wanted to create something where I could get a gauge of where people were, and I wanted them through this survey to realize how they were ordering, when they ordered, and what products they were ordering. So I started with really basic things. I started with, for oils, lavender, frankincense, thieves, valor, stress away. I don't even know if there was more, and lemon. I think those were the ones that I just did. I randomly picked those. I thought they would be the most popular. And then I did like thieves cleaner. I did laundry soap. I did Ninja Red. I did Super Bee. Just really some basic ones, the dish soap, because I wanted them to realize how often they were having to reorder this stuff, so that going forward, they could have a plan of, should I put this am I ready for essential rewards or loyalty rewards if I'm not on it right now? Or does subscribe and save and just ordering stuff every other month, every 3 months make sense for them with those options? And so that's my plan. That's what I have been working on. I sent that out to my leaders so they could go through. I could make some changes. I sent it to Sarah. So that's nice to have more eyes on it. So I'm getting ready this week to kind of release that. And then I'm going to really take my time and go through those people, because do I want 100% of people to answer it? Absolutely. Will that take me forever to go through it? You bet. If they do it, I'm there. But chances are 100% are not going to answer. So the ones that do, I'm really going to focus on that and try to have them understand how often they're ordering stuff, and then give them a suggestion of, you know what, you don't need to be on loyalty rewards for what you're ordering at this point. Get on subscribe and save. So
I want to go back to, I can't remember who it was. I think it was in Vivian's question, about maybe it being quiet when you're talking and you're not getting a lot of interaction. I think, lots of people have that feeling that you're just kind of the only one talking and you're not getting a bunch of feedback. But what Janelle and I had a conversation about this a little while ago. If we're posting and we're not seeing a lot of feedback, and you're not really having that kind of feel good feeling that we're looking for when that happens, I want to encourage you to just keep going and keep doing that. And go into the back end of your virtual office and go and run a report that is the last order date. And especially when your team starts to grow and you kind of, I don't want to say that you forget, but you kind of, if you have a larger team and you feel like maybe it's a little bit quiet, or even if your team is small and you feel like it's quiet, go back to that report, last order report, and remind yourself of the people, that are ordering, that are seeing, that are loving the products, and reach out to them. Tell them thank you for your order. And that's a great IPA to do every single day. Run their, go in and see who ordered that day. Send them a message, send them an email. Thank you so much for your order this month. When you do that, that's supporting, it's helping to support my family. Let me know if I'm here, let me know I'm here for you if you have any questions. I think that was a really good thing for me to go through and to be more consistent about, was seeing who is ordering and who is benefiting from these products and loving the products. Even though you might feel that it is quiet, that's a really good way to remind yourself it's still, you're still, having these connections, even though it might be quiet. And that's a lot of times not our doing. It is algorithms, maybe. It is, people being busy, as much as I really do live and breathe a lot of Young Living during the day. Other people that are ordering and aren't, running this as a brand partner, it's not a huge part of their day, to always be thinking about it. So like it is us. So even when you feel like it is quiet, when they're ordering, it's a great reflection of, you still do have that community. And I realize that it is hard to feel like you're talking to yourself.
Yep. But you always want to remember that think about it this way. When you post something on social, have you ever posted something on social media and down the line, you are chatting with someone in person, they're like, oh yeah, I remember when I saw you post about this. And then you were like thinking in your head, well, guess what? I know you did not like the post. You did not comment on it. So I need to realize that people are reading stuff and not hitting the like button, not commenting. And that's the same thing in our groups. And so to go back to what Sarah said, that is such a reframer in our minds. When I looked at my last month, emotions. Last month I went and looked, and I love what Sarah did. I'm gonna come back to that. I looked at my list of people who had ordered. And when you have doesn't matter the amount. If you don't actually go back and look at that, you tend to just kind of glaze over that point. And when I looked at those numbers, I cried. I said, these people are ordering. You know what? Maybe this past year has been really tough for them. But they're still ordering. They're still supporting our family. And I was just overcome with gratitude for my team and these people who have maybe entrusted their wellness in some way with me or with other people of my team. And so that gratitude had to come back front and center. And it just helped me refocus, as we're talking about, to serve my team better, to show up because they deserve it. They are doing amazing things and I need to be a part of it. So we're going to challenge you guys. Everybody who is on this call, we are going to challenge you for the next 30 days. And I know you're like, I don't need another thing. This thing you do need. Just what Sarah was talking about. Every day, pull a report. You have Get Oiling. Come on. You can pull a report. You can upload that CSV file into Get Oiling where you tag them with, let's say, the day that they ordered. So what's today, the 12th? So you would put 04/12/2021 as the tag. It's the 13th. Whatever. I can't even remember. Is it 2012? Okay. Anyway, tag them with the date that they ordered, and then you can send them an email thanking them for their order. That you recognize you saw it and that you just truly appreciate it, and you just want them to know that you appreciate them and that you were there for them. And so I'm going to encourage all of you. Sarah and I are challenging you to do that for the next 30 days, every day. And it's going to take time. And I get it, but just do it. 100%.
Janelle, how do you connect it? How do you connect the report to Get Oiling?
So you will download your report from Young Living. You'll run a report for the people who ordered for whatever day that you're looking for. And then you are going to upload it into Get Oiling. Hold on one second.
Or if you, I mean, honestly, you don't even need to do a report if it's a handful of people too.
Yeah.
You can, if those people are already in, the back end of Get Oiling, you could just grab, if 5 people order today, it's pretty easy to just grab those people and then send that.
Yeah, depending on how many people you have on your team, it might be, and even myself, like there might be a day where there's only like 3 people who ordered that day. So I can just write their names. That should be something we should do, Sarah, is we should do a training on how to download a report and then upload it. And especially with just a tag. So if we're looking for something specifically. So that is a good topic. Yay! We got a topic. Okay. Sorry. So Bertha said, I group them with 5 days at a time and schedule the thank you note along with an event promotion if there is one. Awesome. That's perfect. I like to use Life Steps and send a resource link as a close to related to the individual members as a keep in touch and reminder about updating their basket without sounding the same way every month with a reminder to place your order. That's a really good point too. That's another great IPA of, hey, your ER is processing this week. Let me know if you need some suggestions. That's super good. You guys are just so great. Sarah and I are just thankful. This has been an awesome time this morning. All right, we are coming up that we are 50 minutes in. I don't think it's been that because we didn't start recording right away, but I think we're gonna wrap it up so people that come back and watch this, there's so many good tidbits in here and I really hope that people catch this because it's so good. So yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. So remember that every Tuesday at 10 a.m. we have a training. If you have a specific question that you want answered, or maybe you want to see like how to do something with Get Oiling, that's what we're here for. Drop those suggestions to us. Jump in our Facebook group, Simple Grace Collective, if you are not there. So many resources are in there. We have tons of freebies for you to use. for your websites. And if you have not checked out our Easy Steps, which are paid courses, but they're amazing, different bundles, different things, different options, make sure you go to simplegraceco.com and you can see them all on there. And we will see you next Tuesday.
See you, everyone.